An evil wizard wants to take over the beautiful island of Terra Corpsa. Terra Corpsa is known for being covered in stunning castles. However, the evil wizard casts a spell on one of those castles and turns it evil. Now, the evil castle is beginning to duplicate uncontrollably and overtake Terra Corpsa. Who can defeat the evil wizard and save the island? Only the heroes of Ology, of course. Choose your character to defeat the wizard. Robert A. Weinberg, the Centaur. He discovered the first human oncogene and first tumor suppressor. Jewel Plummer Cobb, the Princess. She tested methotrexate and found it to be effective on skin and lung cancer as well as childhood leukemia. Christine Iacobizo Donahue, the Knight. She mapped most of the genes responsible for pancreatic cancer and created a timeline of disease progression. Siddhartha Mukherjee, the Knight. He identified the genes and chemicals that can alter the behavior of normal stem cells and cancer cells. Ronaldo Dubecco, the Prince. He is a fundamental contributor to the understanding of uncontrolled cell growth. And Marie Curie, the Fairy, the mother of radiation. Let's play. Help Marie Curie defeat the evil castles. There are 3 black castles in the area without any white castles. What weapon should we use? There are 3 weapons to choose from. First is the bomb. The bomb is good at destroying large areas. However, it will indiscriminately cause damage to both good and evil castles. Be sure not to use it where there are a lot of white castles. Next is fire. Like the bomb, it is good at destroying large areas, but may also damage the surrounding white castles. Lastly, the tags. There are 3 types of tags. First is a single tag. All that does is attach to the evil castle and send an alert for the army to come and destroy the castle. It is much more specialized than the other weapons. Next is the bomb tag. It has properties of both the bomb and the single tag. It attaches to a specific evil castle, then destroys only that castle. Lastly is the double tag, which attaches to both the castle and the warrior. By bringing the warrior to the evil castle, the warrior knows to destroy it. What weapon do you use? The bomb! What weapon do you use? You select the fire. What weapon should be chosen? The tag! What weapon do you use? The tag. So, for the sake of demonstration, a single tag was chosen, as well as a bomb tag. First, the castles are analogies for cells. The healthy ones were white, and the evil or cancerous ones were black. When the evil wizard cast his mutating curse, the analogous healthy cell then turned into a cancerous one. When a cell became cancerous, there is a gene mutation that causes the cell to lose its pre-designated life cycle and basically not die or reproduce incredibly rapidly. The rapid reproduction causes a tumor that begins to take nutrients from the surrounding healthy cells. A tumor becomes cancerous once the cells are mutated beyond recognition. There are 3 major ways to treat cancer. First is chemotherapy, as represented by the bomb. Chemotherapy is a harsh toxin that basically blindly attacks any quick reproducing cells. This is, as well as fighting cancer cells, chemo attacks hair cells, and many patients undergoing chemotherapy lose their hair. Additionally, chemo is a harmful toxin to the healthy cells, as well as cancerous ones. Next is radiation, as represented by fire. Radiation is similar to chemotherapy in the sense that it causes damage to the surrounding healthy cells, but it is different than chemo as to how it affects the cancerous cells. Radiation alters the DNA of the cancer cells to stop the rapid growth of such cells. Radiation shrinks tumors and kills cancer cells. Lastly, there are the monoclonal antibodies. These antibodies are attracted to the large amounts of protein receptors found in the membrane of the cancerous cells. To explain further, the cell membrane is majorly made out of lipids. However, in the lipids are protein cell receptors. These allow for the cells to communicate with one another and have self-awareness. These receptors are in all cells, whether healthy or cancerous. However, there is a significantly larger amount of them in cancer cells. The monoclonal antibodies are attracted to the large amount of these proteins and then tags them. Each of the 3 monoclonal antibodies does something different but have the same basic function and attract to the protein receptors. First is the naked monoclonal antibody. This is the most basic form of it. It tags the cells that have a large amount of the receptors for the immune system to know to attack it. The immune system was represented by the army. An example of this marker type is Campath, which treats chronic lymphomic leukemia. The antibody binds to the CD52 antigen on the lymphocytes. The other type of naked monoclonal antibody blocks the antigen that allows the cancer cells to grow. An example of this is Herceptin, which acts against the HER2 protein, which, when activated, causes a cell to grow. Next are the conjugated monoclonal antibodies. These are antibodies that are attached with a toxin to be delivered. This toxin is usually in the form of chemotherapy or radiation. The toxins tend to be too powerful to be freely put into the body, so they are attached with the antibody to ensure that they only affect cancerous cells. An example of a radioactively labeled drug is Zevalin, which attracts to the CD20 protein found on lymphocytes and is used to treat non-Hodgkin lymphoma. And an example of a chemotherapy-labeled drug is Adacetris, attached with MMAE, which targets the CD30 antigen and is used to treat Hodgkin lymphoma and anaplastic large cell lymphoma. Lastly, there are biospecific monoclonal antibodies that are actually made of 2 different antibodies so that they can attract 2 different proteins at the same time. It is to bring together the cancerous cell and an immune system cell, which was represented by the warrior. An example of this is Blincyto, which is used to treat acute lymphomic leukemia. Part of the antibody attaches to the CD19 protein on the lymphocytes, and the other part attaches to the CD3 protein on T cells, and by bringing them together, it encourages the immune system to attack the cancer. What makes cancer so dangerous is that it is naturally occurring in the human body. This also makes it incredibly difficult to treat and cure. However, with the heavy research emphasis on cancer and the evolution of treatments, I hope that one day there will be a video made about the cure.